Have you ever thought of investing your money? Imagine a world where your money can grow safely and exponentially, surpassing what the bank offers. It's not a dream, it's a reality shared by the financially savvy. Don't leave your hard-earned money just sitting idle in the bank, yielding meager returns. In this video, the acclaimed author, investor, and businessman Robert Kiyosaki divulges the two game-changing assets that can pave the way to true financial freedom. With his proven strategies, you'll learn how to navigate the world of investments and unlock the path to a prosperous future. Do you know how some people mix up saving and investing? Well, here's the deal according to Kiyosaki. Saving is when you stash your money in the bank, putting it in a savings account. Investing, on the other hand, is when you put your money into things that have the potential to make more money, like the stock market or real estate. When you put your money into a savings account, you might get a teeny tiny interest rate, a couple of percent. But when you invest your money, especially in things like stocks or bonds, the returns can be much higher. Now, here's why Kiyosaki isn't a fan of the traditional way of saving for retirement. Picture this: you try to save up a nice big nest egg for when you retire. But here's the tricky part: you have to predict the future. You need to know how long you'll live, how much prices will rise over the years, that's inflation, and how the stock markets will behave. But come on, who has a crystal ball to see all that? Since we don't have magic powers, Kiyosaki says you're gambling with your future if you rely only on saving. Instead, he's all about building things that keep bringing in the money even after you stop working. He calls these cash-flowing assets. These assets could be rental properties, businesses, or investments that consistently generate income. So, while saving is okay, Kiyosaki wants us to be smart and not put all our eggs in one basket. The world economy is changing, and people are facing some challenging times. The US national debt has reached a staggering $31 trillion, and that comes with some potential risks for everyday savers. When the national debt keeps growing, it means the government has to pay more interest on than debt. This could lead to a situation where a significant portion of tax dollars goes towards servicing the debt, leaving less money for other important things like infrastructure, education, or healthcare. As a result, people's standards of living may be affected because there's less money available for essential services and investments in the country's future. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more incredible, life-changing content. Now, let's move on. On top of all that, the Federal Reserve is working to control inflation, which is the increase in the overall price level of goods and services. To combat inflation, one of the tools the Federal Reserve has is raising interest rates. In today's financial landscape, interest rates on savings accounts are often incredibly low, sometimes even less than 1%. When you put money into a savings account, you're essentially lending it to the bank. The bank in turn takes that money and lends it out to other customers, like people taking out mortgages or businesses seeking loans. However, the interest rate the bank charges its customers for these loans is usually much higher than the interest rate they pay you on your savings account. This difference between what the bank earns from lending and what they pay you is called the spread, and it's how the bank makes a profit. While you're providing the bank with funds to run their lending business, the return you get on your savings is often quite low compared to what the bank is earning. This means that the bank benefits from your money more than you do in terms of interest. Keeping large amounts of money in a traditional savings account is not the best strategy for maximizing returns. So, when the federal government raises interest rates to control inflation, it can have downsides. When interest rates go up, it becomes more expensive for the government to borrow money, making the national debt even costlier. But that's not all. Higher interest rates can also slow down economic growth and potentially trigger a recession. When people and businesses face higher borrowing costs, they tend to spend less, and this can lead to an overall economic slowdown. It's a delicate balancing act for the government and the Federal Reserve. They need to address the national debt while also managing inflation to ensure a stable and prosperous economy. However, everyday savers need to be aware of these potential risks and consider them when making financial decisions. Keeping an eye on the economy, understanding government policies, and seeking expert financial advice can help navigate these complex economic situations. According to Robert Kiyosaki, who is known for his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, saving money should be viewed as a short-term strategy. He suggests that saving money is important, but it should be done with a specific purpose in mind: finding your next investment opportunity. Instead of simply accumulating money in a savings account for the long term, Kiyosaki encourages people to be proactive and seek out investment opportunities that can potentially provide a higher rate of return. He believes that money sitting idle in a savings account may not grow as much as it could when invested wisely. The idea is to save money to use it for investments when the right opportunity presents itself. By continuously seeking out investments that align with your financial goals, you can put your money to work and potentially achieve higher returns than you would from a traditional savings account. Don't work for your money. Have your money work for you is a fundamental principle emphasized by financial experts like Robert Kiyosaki. The concept revolves around moving beyond the traditional mindset of relying solely on earned income from a job. Instead, the focus shifts towards creating streams of passive income by investing in cash-flowing assets. The idea is to let your money do the heavy lifting by investing in assets that generate regular income, leading to financial independence and increased wealth over time. Investing in cash-flowing assets is considered the true path to wealth, according to Kiyosaki. Cash-flowing assets are investments that produce a steady income over time. Examples include rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or profitable businesses. By acquiring such assets, individuals can generate passive income that adds to their financial security and contributes to long-term wealth accumulation. While investing is essential for building wealth, it's also crucial to establish a financial safety net. Emergency funds play a vital role in providing financial security during unexpected situations. It is recommended to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in a readily accessible savings account as an emergency fund. This reserve helps navigate through tough times, such as job loss or unforeseen medical expenses, without compromising long-term financial plans. Maintaining a separate and easily accessible savings account for emergencies ensures that you can quickly access the funds when needed without facing penalties or delays. By striking a balance between investing for the future and preparing for unforeseen circumstances, individuals can work towards achieving financial independence and greater financial security. Bitcoin, gold, and the stock market are all investments and assets that people hope will increase in value over time. The primary goal of investing in these assets is to see their worth appreciate over the long term. However, successful investing requires a strategic approach to manage risks and ensure financial stability. If you find this video informative, like and subscribe to the channel for more educative content. Thanks for watching. Let's go! Once you've established your emergency savings, you can focus on investing money for the longer term. Long-term investing provides the opportunity to weather short-term fluctuations in asset prices and potentially benefit from overall growth over time. It's crucial to adopt a patient and long-term perspective to give investments the chance to appreciate and yield significant returns. There are investment options available that could potentially offer higher returns over the long term. Number 1. Gold and silver. Gold and silver are precious metals that have gained popularity as hedges against inflation and uncertainty. Unlike fiat money, which can be printed at will by governments, the supply of gold and silver is limited, making them valuable assets. These metals are often seen as a safe haven in times of economic turmoil, as their worth is relatively unaffected by global economic events. Robert Kiyosaki, a longtime proponent of gold, started investing in the yellow metal as early as 1972. His interest in gold is not just a preference for the metal itself, but rather a lack of trust in the Federal Reserve, the central bank of the United States. He sees gold as a means to protect his wealth from potential risks associated with the actions of the Federal Reserve. In 2023, both gold and silver have shown promise, with their values rising by about 5% over the past 3 months. While there are various ways to invest in gold and silver, Kiyosaki has a preference for buying the metals directly. In a tweet from 2022, he expressed that he only wants real gold or silver coins and is not interested in investing in exchange-traded funds or ETFs tied to these metals. This suggests that he prefers the physical ownership of the precious metals. For those interested in investing in gold and silver, visiting a local bullion shop may be a suitable option to acquire physical coins or bars of these precious metals. The direct ownership of gold and silver provides tangible assets that can potentially serve as a safeguard against economic uncertainties and inflation. Number 2. Treasury Bonds. Robert Kiyosaki believes that government or treasury bonds can be a powerful investment vehicle for building wealth and generating passive income. Government bonds are debt securities issued by a country's government to raise capital. When individuals invest in government bonds, they're essentially lending money to the government in exchange for periodic interest payments and the return of the principal amount at maturity. This income can be especially beneficial for those seeking a steady stream of cash flow without actively managing investments. For Kiyosaki, bonds can play a significant role in a diversified investment portfolio. They're generally considered safer investments compared to stocks and other riskier assets, since they are backed by the government's credit and are considered relatively low risk. This safety factor makes them attractive to investors looking for stability and consistent income. Now that you have a better understanding of various assets you can invest in to build wealth, which one are you planning to implement first? Remember, before diving into investments, prioritize building an emergency savings fund to handle unforeseen circumstances. By having this financial safety net in place, you can confidently hold on to your investments and avoid the need to sell assets at a loss to cover everyday living costs. This will enable you to ride out temporary market downturns and increase the likelihood of generating profit over time. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more valuable content. Thank you for watching.